Some players just roam without much success. However, Phantasm manages to control the map with his playstyle. So today we're going to be looking at how his decision making has helped him reach rank 1 on Korea, from slipping out of vision to creating constant threats with Akshan's mobility. Every move has a purpose. So pay close attention, because once you see how Phantasm thinks about the map, your own decision making will level up fast. I want to start off this video by highlighting Phantasm's clicks. When he's playing laning phase, you see his cursor is always really close to himself. Now this does a couple of things. It's faster to wiggle back and forth, allowing you to always have like good APM and be ready to dodge things. It also allows you to quickly go from going backwards to then forwards, and it lets you have much more precise movement. You see on his cursor, it's always close to himself, and when he walks up to farm creeps, he's always trying to dodge and bait 6Q, allowing him to have a much easier time to fast react because his cursor is so close to him always. Whereas some other POVs you watch, their cursor goes like here, and it's much more wide like this. Whereas Phantasm cursor is often just like this. And it only really goes away from here if he's moving camera, or if he's maybe aiming his Q or something like this, which is fine. But your main clicks when you're locked camera laning or whatever, your cursor should always be like this. This also means that circular abilities like Syndra Q that has a hitbox that's a circle like this, if you can click on this side or this side of the circle more accurate and faster, because your cursor is always close to the skill shots, if you get what I mean, then you'll have more rapid and precise movement as well. Whereas if my cursor is here and now I realize, oh, I need to dodge like on this side of the Syndra Q, now my cursor has to go more distance than if I'm clicking here and then to here. Phantasm is very, very good at recognizing how to use his E aggressively. He will use it just to start running people down with his passive. This is extremely strong part of Akshan in lane, and it's a big reason why he's able to make losing matchups into a winning matchup and make winning matchups into hard winning matchups. You see repeatedly this Orianna keeps standing in the top side of the lane, scared of Akshan, but when she goes out of that pocket, he gets a free E on her every time. And he's not afraid to use his E just to get a couple of auto attacks. Whereas you might be thinking you must do the damage part of the E, but he uses it more as just a gap close to get to auto attack range. Kind of think about it like a LeBlanc. If you play LeBlanc, you don't always want to hit the damage part of W, but you will still spam your W, so you can get in range for E, auto attack, and Q. He does the same with Akshan E. In this example, Syndra gets the first push, but she shows already that she is going towards topside. Some of you might follow Sylas here and follow Syndra, but instead Phantasm insta shoves midwave, which means Syndra has to make a choice. If she decides to help her jungler, she will lose midwave. If she doesn't help and she goes mid now, Sylas has a free move. He also gets level 6 by doing this. Phantasm is really good at making games be stable. If you take a look at his KDAs, you see that he almost never really dies, and a big part of this is that he takes recalls like this. His champion comes back to lane really fast with W and E, and by doing this type of recall, he only loses about 2 melees, and now he has his refillable potion back, full health, he can tank another LeBlanc burst or 2, and this can allow him to get a roam timer later. This will also often hurt enemy mid's mana or their own condition if they chooses to not recall as well as him. In the next example of Phantasm stabilizing games, you see that despite having 1.2k gold, he doesn't recall. The reason for this is, despite him having Mobies in base and whatever items he could wish for, if he bases now, he will give enemy mid prio on the next wave, and he will make sure that his Sylas is not safe. His Sylas is currently hitting grubs, and we do not see enemy jungle or support. By staying here, he could potentially be helping Sylas. He also still has teleport, which means if he was basing now and he teleports to mid tower, the Qiyana, who wasn't showing until now, and the Orianna could easily be contesting grubs and Akshan would be late. Instead, he can take one more wave and then make sure that he's basing, having grubs already, and potentially even look to teleport bot lane afterwards. Are you hardstruck and you feel like you can't do anything?
But bro, if Akali takes kills, I can't do anything!
Join my Ko-fi today and I'll watch the replay.
Please watch replay on stream.
We all have these things in life that we just can't live without. Whether it's your favorite food, your favorite music, you have this night routine that you just must do. For Phantasm, this is Moby Boots at 600 gold. Every game that he has tier 1 boots, 600 gold, he's always thinking, should I just base for mobies? Taking a look at the map right now, his Silas has 3 camps to clear. It is very unlikely that something bad happens while he bases here, and he uses this as a free recall timer. This is very, very good, and you should be looking for consistent things like this that you can kind of do every game to make every game kind of feel similar and make you get into a flow state. We see once again, take a look at his gold. We are getting close to our mobies. One more wave and we have mobies. Taking a look at the map, Sahin just died, Enemy Jin just died, the map is in a dead state. His teammates need to respawn, people need to get back on the map. It's a perfect timer to one-shot this wave and get mobies for free. You can use this same mindset when you play other things and you're getting a quick important spike. When you play mobile assassins like Akshan, LeBlanc, these type of champs, Ahri, you need to have this skill that Phantasm has to create action and plays. The fight goes bad, enemy did a good play to group up on mid and collect his teammates. But Phantasm is not someone that gives up without a fight. He chases them all down, ruins their tempo, cancels their recalls, and gets a fat reward. If you're just giving enemy team this play and you let them recall, you're gonna lose a lot. But no matter what happens now to Phantasm, as long as he stops them from basing, it's great. Obviously here he's extremely unbalanced, he's basically a ranged Katarina dashing everywhere. But even if he killed no one and just stops their recalls, that's already amazing, as we have Drake coming up and ruining their tempo is so good. Something Phantasm as well does a lot to create more action and plays is how he takes waves and goes to the other side of the map afterwards using his Moby's recall. He takes a deep top wave, immediately goes mid or bot now. He will never go top after one-shotting the side wave because it would be useless. Whoever catches this next top wave is going to be way too safe for him to ever catch them. So instead he will always go mid or bot now, depending on where he should play. And now he can immediately play while enemy has to consider dealing with whatever he creates on the other side of the map. Once again here we see a smart play by him using his Moby's recall and his mobility on the map. He gets the top wave, right as he gets it he makes sure that he gets to bot way before Orianna, teleports down with tempo, pushes the wave that has the objective on its side, Drake is right next to him, pushes bot lane deep and begins roaming. By doing this, the immobile, slow Orianna with no mobility has to now deal with these bot minions, while he can just roam around with his unbalanced character. His map awareness is also amazing. Here, Kiana goes to Grump, and then she starts to go missing. He still manages to get a good chunk on the Ori, does not commit to an all-in, but he stops Orianna from roaming down, while getting a good chunk on her, all because he recognizes Kiana was bot, but also that Kiana started to come to the Ori side. By doing this, he now stopped Orianna from roaming bot. He now gets a teleport timer to instantly stop enemies play on bot. Orianna is hard stuck mid. This allows him to now clean up and save the game once again in classic Akshan fashion. People often wonder, why is it that Phantasm is the one that is like top 20 Korea with Akshan? Why isn't it some other guy? Why isn't Yamato Steph the king of Akshan? Why isn't it Chen Chen like all of these other Akshans? In my opinion, I think Phantasm's greatest skill is how he makes action and plays. He's playing the Syndra matchup. If he uses E, Syndra will E. You might think, well, Akshan didn't do anything. Wrong. Syndra is now under tower without her main defensive ability, allowing her to get insta one-shot by the Silas, and they get a free dive off. With this dive, Syndra now dies and he gets a bunch of plates on the side lane. In this next example of Phantasm creating plays and action, we see he shows up on side lane and enemy team overgroups on the mid lane. A lot of you might decide to only go to mid. He fogs down, presses W. But he recognizes that this is not a fight I want to go for. He uses Moby's really well, goes back up to top and one-shots a wave and bases. Now, why does he base when he arrives to top? The one that goes fog on enemy team is Orianna. He is not going to get the tower versus Orianna. So he once again recalls with his Moby recall, and now he gets back on the map, ready for action and make plays. Akshan and Quinn, his main champs, is all about creating numbers by using mobies and your mobility on the map. By doing this maneuver, he's now forced the immobile, slow-moving Orianna to deal with a couple of top waves, while he can freely run around the map and try to get a number advantage fight. For the third clip, to create action and plays, we see his tempo is terrible compared to his team. He knows this, so he TPs mid. By saving his TP and going to mid, he risks losing out on action and plays, which is terrible for any type of assassin champion really. By being here, he's now ready immediately if something is to happen. This both stabilizes his game because his teammates cannot int, but it also allows him to use his lead and his skill on his champion if a fight was to occur. Take a look at Phantasm's patience, but also willingness to use his teammates as bait in this situation. He understands that Taliyah is going to use bot prio to dive his bot lane. After all, his Silas is hard stuck on top side. Using Akshan's mobility, he doesn't mind face checking. Worst case, he gets chunked by Taliyah and Taliyah doesn't roam bot. He finds Taliyah and chunks her. Now some of you might tunnel on going and chasing the Taliyah and stopping her from diving your bot lane. He understands that he has them in a checkmate. If they commit to diving his bot lane, he will get at least 2 kills. He does not concern himself about his low elo bot lane dying, as long as it benefits him. He is very patient and chases the Taliyah knowing that she's committing to the dive. His bot lane will die and maybe they are mad that they die. But now Akshan gets so many kills, revives the Yunara, now Yunara can go wherever she wants, top lane, mid or bot, and Phantasm has so many kills. This teamfight here shows everything you need to know about playing teamfights as Akshan. Akshan in late game is an assassin, but also a marksman. You are so vulnerable to getting one shot, but you also care a lot about enemy CC like Syndra E and Pantheon W. You see that he just hangs around, waits, Syndra E used, okay, still Pantheon has W. Pantheon no W. Goes in. Take a look at how he uses his passive autos on Ambessa. When Ambessa is on cooldown, he does the double auto. When Ambessa runs at him, he only plays for movement speed. Closes the gap, goes invis, and goes for the cleanup. Beautiful passive procs. Beautiful use of E. And immediately sets his target onto Yunara. Take a look at Phantasm's patience in this fight. He starts off by killing the Pantheon. It's easy to now get hyped and wanting to fight and go deeper because you're in a 5v4. Take a look at his Karthus. He does not try to save his Karthus, instead he plays the fight safe. He knows Syndra has no E. Goes back to Invis. Syndra E, Ambessa ult. This is what's gonna kill him. Syndra uses E, Ambessa uses ult. It's time to pounce. Fight is over immediately, so he backs out. This is crucial to not die here. Now, if you die here, you might think, it doesn't matter, my team was dead anyways. You are an assassin. He's on the hunt, looking for an isolated target to pounce on. He is still strong himself, and enemy is low, and enemy wants to push to get something from winning the team fight. With this patience, he gets a shutdown, revives his top laner, and now the game is winnable. I want to highlight some tricks on Akshan that Phantasm uses in a lot of his games. The first one being his skill order. When his lane is volatile like this, he does not skill his W, instead he puts a second point in E. This allows him to turn this volatility into a kill for himself. Orianna loses the cannon wave, and now Phantasm has a nice kill, a nice lead over the Orianna. Once he's level 5 or level 7, he will then look to skill his W instead. I do the same when I play Victor. When I have 2 points E and 1 point Q, if my lane is volatile and I hit level 4, instead of skilling my W, I'll skill a second point in Q. The second trick for Akshan I want to highlight from Phantasm is that when he needs a push out, he simply ults the enemy. This is very obvious if you play something like Orianna or Victor, but with Akshan it feels a bit weird, because the minions are blocking the ult. But in this case, it's very helpful. Honestly, the third trick, we gotta get Drew Levin on the case. We should just permaban this guy. This is not okay. But it's a trick regardless, and until it gets patched, it's a feature. The advantage that you have when you play a champion like Akshan or Evelyn or Twitch, champions that remain invis for a long time, is that when you want to retake an area, you can help escort your team but take a separate path. He should split off from Syra here by using his W to the left side. By doing this, he doesn't get affected by the same abilities that are being used to try to catch the Syra, and he can try to engage on the backline of the enemy if they do go on Syra. Instead, he clicks behind the Syra like he's a normal champ that is not invis and gets caught. If Phantasm doesn't make it to rank 1, this is gonna be one of the reasons in my opinion. He needs to be a better leader in the game and make sure that he is demanding things to happen that is good for him. Right now he has free grubs, he kills the fresh, but his immediate click after hitting the tower a bit is to go back to mid. You should never go back to mid now when you've committed down to bot lane. You should always drop the mid wave because you've already dropped it and keep hitting the tower with the grubs. You see that he only goes back to bot because Draven pings him. So again, you might not see this as a big deal, but to me it's massive because if Draven didn't ping him, he would have gone to bot there. And this means he would be climbing because of his Draven this game, not because of his own decision making. And that is Phantasm's map control in a nutshell. Every roam, every setup, every unexpected play comes from smart movement and clean use of Akshan's kit. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more high level insights, make sure to like, subscribe and drop a comment on which player or champion you want to see next.